Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the Big Movement Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something which is extremely important, and that is that business success is a marathon and not a sprint. And why is that? Since it's the beginning of 2017, one of the things that you're typically going to see out there are offers, things such as, oh, you can get overnight success, and oh, you can be able to do this in 30 days or less, and da-da-da. The list goes on and on. Here is the reality. You have to focus in on the long term because you want to be thinking, how can you build something that is going to last you beyond January, beyond February, but well into 2018, 2019, and beyond? That's why it's a marathon. Because there's a lot of things that can work for you out there. They are phenomenal for something that's a short-term game. Gain there. Think of like weight loss. How many times you can see someone like, oh, do this one thing and you can lose 7 pounds in 10 days. But how many times does it come back? When it comes to your business, you want to be thinking the actions you take today are going to build upon itself. They're going to compound week after week, getting stronger and stronger, leading you to your goal. And that's why it's a marathon. So here's a couple things that you want to keep in mind in this process. The first thing is you want to focus in on the long-term objective in your business, in your life. And the reason for that is you would be thinking, where do you want to be down the road? What is that large picture? What is it that you see yourself doing with your life at that point? Well, let's see that you are starting a new business and you want to be able to buy a new house. You want to travel to different exotic places. What does your life look like at that particular point in time? And then you work backwards because then you identify what are the short-term goals that are in support of that. What do you need to make happen along the way? Think of it like you're climbing a staircase. You're going to take a step one at a time until you get to the top. You're not going to just simply jump from the bottom of one staircase up to the next. It'd be like if, let's say, you're in New York City. You're going from the first floor to the top of the Empire State Building. Are you going to do it in a single bound? Not unless you're Superman. But the rest of us, guess what we're doing? We're taking it one step at a time, or we're taking the elevator. Either way, you are using a process to get to that particular goal. The next thing you want to do is you want to filter out things that do not support your outcomes. And the reason why I say outcomes is because your outcome is your successful destination for you to arrive there. There's going to be a lot of distractions along the way that want to deter you. People are going to come at you and say, oh, you could do this one thing, be amazing, blah, 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 blah. You don't want to do that. You have a vision for your life. You want to stick to it. You want to be determined because that's what's going to get there. Think of all the companies that are now Fortune 500 companies that started in a garage. If they would have been deterred by someone saying, oh, hey, can you go do this instead? Would they be what they are today? No. Think of a company like Google or Apple. If someone said, hey, why don't you just do this one thing instead? When they had a vision, do you think they'd be multi-billion-dollar companies today? Of course not. So you have to stick to those goals. And then another thing you want to do, which is really helpful, is you want to develop a peer group that's going to support you in this process. And a peer group is going to be truly helpful because they're going to help you stay that course. At those times when you're like, I just want to roll over, hit the snooze button. They're going to remind you of why you're doing it. They're going to keep you motivated. They're going to be the ones who are going to support you. And most importantly, they're going to be there to help celebrate, just as you're going to help do the same thing in their lives. Because I believe it was Jim Rohn who said it best. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about that as your peer group. Who are the people you're spending time around? Are they the people who are going to propel you forward? Or are they going to be the people who pull you down? You need to decide upon that as you embark upon your journey. You want to celebrate your victories. And the reason why is we love winning. Who doesn't love winning? Have you ever met anyone who says, I just love to lose? No. Think about any type of professional sporting event or even a little league event, whatever, from the smallest of people to the professional athletes. Does anyone ever go into a game and say, yep, I am going to be totally content if we lose, we get our butts kicked? Said no one ever. Everybody loves winning. And we have to celebrate that. And this is why you have to create those short-term goals that are in support of your long-term goal. Because for each one of those short-term goals, those objectives, those outcomes you achieve, you want to celebrate them because it's going to keep you motivated. If you have a team and you have a big win, you land a new client, celebrate it. Do those things because it's going to keep you motivated, especially when you're working the late hours, you're doing the things, the hard work that it required to make those things happen. It helps you tremendously to do that. Another thing you want to do is not to give up at the first obstacle. It's so easy in today's world. You hit the first bit of trouble, like, oh no, how am I going to make payroll? Or, oh crap, this client did this. Or, oh no, Google changed this regulation or whatever. And guess what? Every business has had some type of hurdle they had to overcome. If they would have given up, do you think they'd be where they are today? No, of course not. Think of a company like Apple, one of the most valuable companies in the world today. If they would have given up back in 2000 or so, when they were falling apart, when their stock was plummeting, and before Steve Jobs it came back, do you think they'd be what they are today? No. They didn't give up, and neither should you. Anytime you hit a roadblock, push through it. There's an expression out there. If you fall down halfway through hell, get up and keep going. Don't stop. You never want to stop when you're in the middle of something. You want to keep going until you're at your destination. Because at least the last thing, it's staying the course. You're on a marathon, not a sprint. And there's going to be some detours. There's going to be some ups. There's going to be some downs. But when you achieve your goals and you cross the finish line and you're celebrating every bit of the struggle along the way, the ups and the downs are going to be worth it. So I challenge you today, get started on your journey. Don't give up. Create that vision and push through it. And then share with the world what you're doing because you're worth it and you're doing something amazing.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.